Hey, welcome to the Northpoint Guys podcast. My name's Josiah Smith.
And my name is Michael Scott, and we are so glad that you've joined us today. Josiah, we've had a great semester.
We have.
Lots of great stories here at this table, from students to, even Dr. Gallagher.
That was a good one.
We've had a good season. And so we want to just recap what's been happening at Northpoint this past semester, because now we're in summer.
Yeah.
But we're working hard getting ready for the fall. So maybe we won't just recap, but maybe we can also give a little sneak peek, a little nuggets and what happens at Northpoint over the summer.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy how time flies, because I think this is our third recap.
Through the history of the podcast? Yeah.
Since we started the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The school's been around for 100 years almost, but only 3 seasons of podcast.
Yeah. There you go. And you know what's awesome is that, you were just at the Southern New England Ministry Network conference.
Yeah.
And tell our viewers what you were telling me about people just like coming up to you and recognizing you from the podcast.
Yeah, we had a couple people come on and be like, "Hey, Northpoint Guys podcast, represent." I was like,
"Hey,
woo.
So shout out to you."
And, which, by the way, the network conference was awesome. So now I'm new to New England-ish, but that was my first network conference, and we have an awesome network.
Absolutely.
At SNEMN. Really, really great. I just so admired the way Nick and the team put things together, and also I was amazed at the prizes they gave away. There were some incredible prizes. But anyway, so we were there. Josh Selma, our recruiter, was there with the table, just repping and having conversations with people. But so enjoyed that. So just wanted to give that conference a little shout out.
And then we had Chloe at the Northern New England Ministry Network.
Yeah, I think a week before that.
Yeah, and then I was at the Kansas Ministry Network District Council, and so we're out there repping.
That season.
It's great getting the Northpoint name out there.
Yeah, and we're gonna be doing that for the summer as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're gonna recap, but we're sending our music team out here.
Yep.
Shortly, and then I think we have another representative going around to camps.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it here in a bit. But in total, I think we counted. We're going to be at 13 camps this summer. Northpoint's going to be at 13 camps. So if you're in middle school or high school, be on the lookout for a team from Northpoint at your camp.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. We'll talk more about that. All right. So we're going back to January 2023.
Right. Now, right at the end of the fall semester, and we had talked a little bit about this, we had some transition in our leadership at the school. Dr. Arnett, stepping back and not going for another term as president. Mm-hmm. And so we had our chairman of the board, Tiff Shuttlesworth, Evangelist Tiff Shuttlesworth, step up as the interim president.
Yeah.
So that's how we ended the fall semester.
True.
So now let's jump into...
A lot has changed.
Yeah, let's jump into what happened after that.
Yeah, so we get into January, and, Evangelist Shuttlesworth is doing a great job as interim, and we're kind of making some plans, strategies, shifting some things around. And then I think it was in March or April.
In March, yep.
Yeah, that the Board of Trustees voted to make our interim president. So now President Tiff Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
And so, which is great because, you never know how long that search is going to take. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like that brings stability. We're getting vision for the future already.
Absolutely.
We're excited.
Yeah.
So
it's like we're on a train that just started going really fast and taking off, and in a good way,
picking up speed.
Absolutely.
For sure.
There's a lot of excitement happening. The students are excited, faculty, staff, we're all on board.
Yeah. And so one of the first things we did, I think in February maybe, was the president hosted here at Northpoint a series called the Pentecostal Pillars.
Yeah.
And so we walked through 5 nights of kind of revival-like services where we just covered the Pentecostal pillars, and I'm going to put us on the spot and see if we can make it through. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I bet producer Matt Caforio 100% can, because he had to edit all those videos.
That's true. I think Monday night we talked about salvation.
Yeah.
And then
I was going to get to that one. That was the one I was guessing for sure.
One. We'll take that one out.
Salvation. I know healing was one of them.
Yeah. So I think Tuesday we talked about baptism in the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday, divine healing. And then Thursday, I think we talked about the imminent return of Christ.
Yes.
The second return.
That's it.
Yeah. And then we spent one more night, we added on prayer and fasting. Mm. And that's something President Shuttlesworth is very, I don't know if passionate about is the right word, because I don't know if anyone's passionate about fasting per se. I guess so.
Yeah.
but certainly devoted to prayer and fasting, and calling our campus to that prayer and fasting as well. A lot of people are joining him to pray and fast on Mondays, and there's been other seasons of prayer and fasting. So, but the Pentecostal Pillars was a great way to kind of kick off the new year.
Oh, it was great. I mean, the chapel was packed for every single one of those services. Yeah. And if somebody wanted to go back and watch them online, those services are on our YouTube channel.
They are, yeah.
So look up Northpoint Bible College on YouTube, just right there. And you'll see the president's picture on there, and they're right there available.
Yeah, and they've definitely picked up steam. There's some videos they're getting some pretty good views there. Check it out if you haven't. I was in the nursery that week, so I had to watch.
True.
Yeah, I had to watch some of those videos. But all in all, it was a great week. So yeah, what else? What happened after that?
Okay, so after that, I mean, once you get into March, then we had our Northpoint experience. Big event. Probably the biggest event that we do here at Northpoint, and it's for high schoolers and older, so high school and young adults who are interested in Northpoint, coming on campus, staying a couple nights, experiencing the services, classes. They experience hanging out in the dorms and the activities that we have, the meals.
Yeah,
we had a blast.
Yeah.
Like, this place was packed. It was awesome.
And we had Clark Clairvoix speak for that one, which was awesome. And we also dropped some new merch around that time.
We did.
Which I think went over pretty well.
There was a huge excitement about the merch.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to bring back some new merch for the fall.
Yeah, so we'll have to make that available for people online here so they can get some of that.
Which, keep watching the video, because here in a little bit, I'll be dropping the dates for the fall Northpoint experience.
Let's go.
Brand new dates for experience.
Oh, like not the normal times.
Oh,
we changed it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right.
So keep watching, because here in a few minutes, we'll announce those dates.
All right.
But we're still looking
back.
back.
And needles.
We're still looking back.
Okay.
So Clark Clairvoix, amazing services, T-shirts.
Which, side note, I think maybe if there's any alumni watching, maybe they should give us some ideas, like if we wanted to make an alumni T-shirt, or merch.
I mean,
what would that?
I don't want to spill any beans here, but we may be working on some, we could say, throwback merch for Homecoming.
Okay.
So
if you're watching and you're an alumni and you're interested,
come to Homecoming.
We need a little feedback.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's something you're interested in. If you'd buy a hoodie or a T-shirt or something like that.
Yeah, drop it in the comments what you want to see.
Yeah.
Even if there's like an old ministry team that you were on in your Zion days.
Let's go.
I would love to make a shirt out of that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be neat. So,
all right, new merch. Fun. Something else we did was for the first time in the school was something we called Serve Week.
Oh yeah.
And so we have chapels typically Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m., about an hour and a half typically. And so this week, instead of having chapel services, we took that hour and a half and we went out to various places in the community and the students served.
Right.
So we went to a local thrift store. We went to a homeless shelter, soup kitchen. Let's see what else. We went to the pregnancy care center. We helped clean out some parking lots, all kind of stuff.
Right.
And it was a great experience. The students just had a wonderful attitudes, and I got some great feedback from the people that we were partnering with and stuff. So I think we're gonna try that again. But yeah, Serve Week leading up to Easter was a great experience. And then we kind of the week after that we hosted an Easter service. Where we open that up to the community, and I think we're going to try to do that more as well. I'm looking forward. This is looking back and looking ahead, but just opening up chapel services for our community, special events. We got the Easter and Christmas, and Advent and Lent, things like that, where we let the community know that hey, we are here, we're involved, we love this community. So I think Serve Week was a great start to that, and definitely going to continue.
Oh, yeah, and you've done an incredible job with our chapels. So just bragging on you. Just to where there's a variety in there, that it's not the same thing every single day. I mean, we have incredible chapel services. So we are not discounting those one bit, but it's like, okay, how can we help our students experience different things in different ways? And like you said, intentionally serving. One of the most memorable chapels of this past year for me that I remember is when you stood up, you talked about rest and, how it's intentional, and Sabbath, the importance of it. In ministry, we often overlook us taking Sabbath rest.
Sure.
But you stood up, you talked about the importance of rest. And it was about halfway through the chapel time, you said, okay, now everyone, go out across this campus and just rest. Go for a walk, spend time with Jesus. If you just need to like go to your room, like just rest.
Yeah.
And I think like, yes, the action of like getting out of chapel early was cool, but I think more important, it showed the importance of, hey, rest and Sabbath is so important that we're going to schedule this in this moment.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool too, because obviously, you know, when you let students out of chapel early, they can do whatever they want, but got a lot of good feedback from students who really had a good time with Jesus in that time.
Yeah.
And that speaks highly of our students too. Yeah. One of the best remarks I've had so far is one of our professors in administration, you know, commented on chapel, how, you know, sometimes in the semester you have a little bit of a slump where students are tired, or, you know, I don't know, things aren't going smoothly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, this year I feel like we just stayed on the whole way, and every chapel was good. And so yeah, we thank God for his faithfulness. And again, I almost want to get into what's coming, but like I working on, I know it's
go ahead.
We still got a long time to go till fall semester, but I am really excited about some ideas we're throwing around for the fall semester chapels. Maybe looking at getting outside the chapel building a little more, and you know, I won't say too much, but my goal is to create rhythms every week, but within those rhythms include a lot of diverse experiences. So we're gonna have some great guests. Our faculty and staff are going to speak. We'll have the student chapels on Thursdays where we have our student speakers again. And then Wednesdays, we're going to introduce something a little new and just mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
So if you've ever experienced anything like underground church or, you know, just different stuff.
Yeah. And what date is producer Matt Caforio speaking?
Oh, I think I've got him for mid-September. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Nothing yet. He needs to give me a date, though. Make it happen.
We've been waiting.
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
I know there's a word bubbling up. Let's go.
There we go. So in addition to all those, we also hosted the NextGen Leaders Conference.
Yes.
So last year, we introduced a youth pastor conference and young adults. It went so well, had such a great response. You know, the kids ministry people and young adults were like, we want some too. We're like, okay, NextGen Leaders Conference. So we hosted from mostly southern New England area, but kind of spread out as well. Kids pastors, leaders, volunteers, youth pastors, leaders, volunteers, young adult pastors, leaders, volunteers.
Yeah.
We hosted them here on the campus, brought in Jared Berry, who's the district youth director and district Chi Alpha director for New York. Actually, I think they just changed his title to ministries director. So there we go. All
right.
And then we had Chris Hurtado, who's the ministries director for Southern New England. And then we had Jen Kinnaman, who's a U.S. missionary chaplain for foster care and orphan care. And I mean, just incredible time, not only in sessions, not only in chapel, because they joined the students for chapel as well, but then we also got to hang out together. One of my favorite times is just, we take them to a bowling alley and we just hang out, joke around, get to know each other better, and then we take them to dinner.
I was actually going to say that was my least favorite time, bowling, but whatever. I just was not too good at that.
I mean, one person had one.
Yeah, well, I'll say I feel like the teams were stacked, the lanes. One team got a lot higher scores than the other team, but maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah, sure. I'm working on it for next year.
But I just love, like, yes, we wanted it to be informative, but I also wanted it to build community. I've been around so many youth pastors and next-gen pastors who feel like they're on islands.
Right.
And so I want Northpoint to be known that we're not just investing in future pastors, our students, but we also want to invest in current pastors and current ministries and help them feel like you're not alone in this. We can help. We can be a resource. The youth pastor next door can be a resource.
Right.
Like we can do this together.
And I think that represents a shift in ministry mindset that is actually really like, it's a good thing, I think. Because if you look back, 80s, 90s, early 2000s maybe, or maybe we'll just say our parents' generation, like a lot of conferences, obviously John Maxwell is big, and not knocking John Maxwell, I love him, read his books, but everything was conference. And I feel like there's a shift now to where even the conferences, people are asking questions of how do we build relationships out of this conference?
Right.
Because like we realize that it's not good enough to go for 3 days and feel good and then go back and be in the dumps. Like, how do we create sustainable ministry relationships where we're walking together? And so, I think I saw that exemplified and demonstrated in the SNEMN network conference, which was great. And I think it's the same thing, like our goal with the NextGen conference and any conference we do is we don't just want to hand tools out, but we want to hand tools out and then help you link up with someone that you
Right.
can walk together. Yeah. So I think that was a great idea.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
It went well.
It did.
And then, as we're getting later into the semester, then we get towards graduation festivities and our seniors leaving us. That's one of the hard things
Bittersweet.
I've learned about
Bittersweet.
working out of college. It's very bittersweet. It's like, we love these students, and then by the time they're ready to graduate, I mean, we've become close with them. We love hanging out with them. We value their opinions. We have great conversations. And then all of a sudden, they put on a black gown, walk across the stage, and then leave us forever.
Yeah.
At least that's the goal, though. Because
Yeah.
I have to remind myself, like, okay, if we're going to be a good college, our job is to send them out.
Well, there's the tension. You know, it's like the parent who like, no, don't leave.
Right.
And yet everything has been culminated to this point
Exactly.
so that you can leave.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so why don't you stick around for a master's?
Yeah,
But, for a lot, this is the time where we want to go see them get involved in full-time ministry, some bivocational ministry, but certainly sending them out.
Yeah.
So,
And so the end of a semester, especially the end of a year at Northpoint, it's not just graduation, it's not just finals, but we also celebrate.
Yeah.
We have a senior banquet where all of our students and faculty and staff all come together. We have a fancy dinner, and everyone's dressed up, and we honor the seniors and play games, have fun. The DJ this year was just...
that was a good time. Come on.
Producer Matt Caforio.
May or may not have been Matt.
Yeah.
No, it was a good time. And what else do we do for the seniors? So there's the banquet, and then we've got, obviously baccalaureate.
Yep.
Which Professor Dave Hodge spoke this year, and
Awesome.
just powerful message.
We also did the Clash of the Classes.
Yeah.
Where every class, so freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, compete against each other in activities put together by our student council. And I am proud to say the class that I am the class advisor for, the sophomore class, current sophomores about to be juniors, won this year.
Funny you remember that, because I was going to ask Matt who won.
Oh, I firmly
guess
remember
you
this.
know.
It was a clean sweep. I think my class won every single activity. Just throwing that out there.
I feel like you might be right. I don't want to admit it, but yeah. So that's always a good time. And so Clash of the Classes, banquet, baccalaureate, and then of course commencement.
Yep.
The finale.
Exactly.
And,
so we had Pastor Nick Furtado, the superintendent of Southern New England, speak at graduation, at commencement, and then the president gives the presidential commission to our students.
That's right. So his first presidential commission since being president.
Right.
So that's cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
It's just, I love commencement. It was a great service.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So that brings us to the end of the semester. Did we miss anything?
Oh, I'm sure we did. 100% we missed some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Just the daily life of Northpoint, like I genuinely appreciate it.
Well, all right. So one thing we did not mention, but we're going to mention for this looking ahead thing is we have an esports team.
Right.
And I'm thinking they did something. They won something that was good, and I remember celebrating that at some point.
So we had 2 Overwatch teams. So Overwatch, for those that don't know, is a game. It's a game that you play on the computer, and it's teams of 5. Okay. So we had 2 Overwatch teams this past semester, and in their division, they both made it to their finals in their division.
That's awesome.
Very awesome.
And
very
this is
impressive.
Our first or second year.
Second year
with esports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to Coach Trevor Primus. Leading the way.
Well done.
But that's a great segue into something exciting happening this summer.
Walk over the bridge. Let's go.
Here we go. Let's make that transition right there. So July 6, 7, and 8. We are hosting, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We are hosting the first ever Northpoint Esports Camp.
Yo.
Yeah. So it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's like a mini camp.
Okay.
But it is for middle school and high school students.
All right.
Now, some of you may be like, why is Northpoint Bible College hosting an esports camp?
Well, and then I have other questions too, but you can answer that one. Sure.
Well, to get to that one, first of all, it is picture a church camp. You don't even have to understand video games. Picture church camp.
Okay.
And church camps, you have services, preaching, worship, and then you have games and activities during the day.
Right.
It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
We're going to have a youth pastor from Stamford, Connecticut named Danny Paolo. Incredible youth pastor, incredible guy. He's going to be speaking at the esports camp. and then worship's doing worship for it.
Awesome.
And then we have a couple sessions, workshops, whatever you want to call it, with some Christian gamers. One of them is one of our very own professors that we've had on the podcast, Ben Phillips. So we're going to have Christian gamers come in and talk about how you can use gaming to share your faith, or how you can use gaming as almost like a small group, like churches would have small groups to build accountability, build community. Well, Ben Phillips, one of the things he does is he has a group he meets with digitally through gaming every Monday night, and that is his small group.
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. And so they encourage each other. They build community. They joke with each other. And they have sustained friendships for over a decade, I believe, through this Monday night activity.
That's awesome.
And so gaming can actually be a tool to build community, but also to share the gospel. And so specifically for this camp, middle school, high school students, I would love it if we have Christian students and youth groups that are inviting their friends who may not come to a church camp, but they would come to an esports camp.
Right.
And so we're believing, and please join us in praying for it, we're believing middle school and high school students are going to come to know Jesus at our esports camp, July 6th through 8th. So you can go to our website, northpoint.edu/esportscamp, and check out all the details there. You can register, but it is going to be in this incredible thing. All right, questions, bring it on.
I think you answered maybe all of them. I mean, my initial thought was just, all right, if I'm someone who likes to game, I let's say I just sit in front of my TV for hours. Why would I need to go somewhere to do that? I could just stay home and do that. So why an esports camp? Which again, I think you already kind of answered.
You can totally do that. But if you want to hang out with like cool people, and we're also going to have our esports team. Most of them are going to be able to come back this summer, and they're going to be the camp counselors, you could say. So they're going to staff the camp, as well as our coach, Trevor Primus. So if you're a middle schooler or a high school gamer who wants to not only play with an esports team, like a collegiate esports team, but maybe get some tips and train with a college esports coach. Like this is a great opportunity for that. So like our three main focuses are, encountering God, building community with other gamers, other Christian gamers especially, so you don't feel isolated in the secular world. And then we want you to develop your skills. We want you to leave the camp a better gamer than you were coming in.
So it's not just gaming, and it's not just like I'm going to sit and hear a sermon. Right. It's like a lot of things going on.
And then it's not just staying indoors the whole time. We're also going to have outdoor activities. I mean, if you're a fan of like Mario Party and stuff like that, a lot of mini games like that, our plan is to have a Mario Party outside. So outdoor activities with all these games. So if you're a parent that your kid just loves to game, but you're trying to get them off the couch, send them our way. We like snack.
Assume food's going to be involved in this, right?
Oh, absolutely. So. Food's going to be there. We'll have like snack bars set up the whole time, plenty of Mountain Dew, all that stuff.
All right. So reasons to get off your couch, right? You don't have an in-person team at home.
Right.
You don't have, I'm going to mention something else. You don't have awesome food, maybe, in your bedroom or something like that. And
you don't have an esports coach.
You don't have an esports coach or a collegiate team.
Right there.
And then also, don't we have like a professional commentator or something?
Yes.
I don't know if we were hiding that.
No,
that's kind of a big deal.
That up. So we have this professional esports caster. I think that's the official term.
Okay, all right, caster.
So, esports commentator, but esports caster. Professional international. I mean, they fly.
Last time we were talking to him, he's like, "Yeah, I was in Japan last week."
Yeah,
and,
he was in South Korea a couple months ago, and they fly him everywhere to do professional esports broadcasts. His name is Curtis Pereira, who's he's going to be here for the camp.
Let's go.
And not only is he an amazing gamer and broadcaster, but he loves Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's huge, I think, especially for our middle school and high school students to see somebody who's in the gaming world. Every middle school, high school gamer thinks they're going to go pro. And so like, oh man, I could do this. I could start a YouTube channel, all this stuff. Well, this guy's done that.
Yeah, right.
And he loves Jesus very much. And so I think, his testimony, his story, his encouragement is going to help set the course and the path for a lot of these students in their future.
Yeah.
So that's very valuable.
That sounds awesome. So, all right, July 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yep.
You said, northpoint.edu/esports camp?
Esports camp. Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. Head that way after the video.
Yeah.
Check it out.
There you go. It's going to be good.
All right, so that's exciting. What else we got going on this summer?
So we have so let's build another bridge. We mentioned Northpoint Worship is going to be at the Esports Camp.
Let's go.
Yeah. So they are, whenever this comes out, they are actually about to go out to the first camp whenever this video is going out.
Yeah.
So our Northpoint Worship team, we call them MP Worship, formerly known as Dwelling Place for our alumni who may be familiar. Right. They're going to be going out to 9 camps this summer.
9.
Yeah, we're sending them out to 9 camps.
That's awesome.
So you may see them at a camp near you. And so I actually wrote these down because I didn't want to forget any.
All right, where are we headed?
They're going to start in Kentucky.
Okay.
I mean, Camp Crestwood. If you're from Kentucky and you're watching this, you have one of the best camps around. Like, Kentucky camp is so good. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, the team was so excited to hear they were going back to Kentucky. So they're going to be with our friends in Kentucky. After that, they're going to go to Kansas. We have a lot of excitement for Northpoint in Kansas. Okay, and Kansas is, I mean, I'm biased. Brand new DYD in Kansas. Okay. Hannah Peoples, she's bringing the team in. Awesome. So Kentucky, Kansas. Then the team's going to go up to Pendel. They haven't been to Pendel in years and years and years and years.
These are my peoples.
Brand
new
place. Common theme, brand new DYD, Joe Cali.
Okay.
Amazing guy, bringing in the team, and they're just going to get to serve there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Like, that's what I love about our students. Like, yeah, they're incredible musicians and singers, but also at the same time, they're not above serving and doing whatever's needed for the camp.
And every camp they go to, when they lead music, they're still serving.
Absolutely.
And so,
Yep.
Which I appreciate that, because it's not like you're just going to lead music and then you're just, everyone else is working real hard while you sit in a green room or something.
Exactly.
But no, they're serving.
So Kentucky, Kansas, Pendel, which is Pennsylvania and Delaware. That's that district, Pendel, for our non-AG knowledgeable district people.
Sure.
Then after that, Southern New England, SNEMN, we mentioned that Southern New England Ministry Network, their senior high camp. Okay. Our team will be there. And then the team's coming back on campus to lead worship for the Esports Camp that we were talking about, July 6th through 8th. And then they're heading up to New York with our good friend Jared Berry. We mentioned him earlier in the podcast. So they're going to be serving there. And then after that, this is a fun one. They're going back to SNEMN and doing Kids Camp.
Oh,
and you may think, Kids Camp, what's happening? So we're excited about that. The DYD, Chris Hurtado, called me up. He said, hey, I'm really in a pickle. Is your team available to serve at Kids Camp? I said, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, first of all, we want to be able to serve. We want to go out. That's the heart of Northpoint. We want to serve in whatever way possible. Mm-hmm. But also, like, we love kids. Like, that's great. And so I know some of our team members who are passionate about kids ministry are super excited about that
awesome.
Week. Yeah. But then also think about who serves at a Kids Camp. You have a lot of high school students who are ministry minded, who are the ones serving at Kids Camp. So it's going to be a great opportunity to build relationship with those students as well, who were just at the senior high camp 2 weeks earlier.
I see a strategy.
There we go. Okay. Then right after Kids Camp, SNEMN Junior High Camp. So that's going to be great. And then after that junior high camp, then our team will be ending their summer at National Fine Arts.
Aha.
So
in Ohio,
in Columbus, Ohio. So and we'll now bridge to there as well. So if you are going to National Fine Arts, maybe you got Superior with invitation at districts, or maybe you're going for the National Youth Convention, or you're part of the basketball tournament that they're starting up at National Fine Arts this year. Brand new basketball tournament. 3-on-3?
Is that what's happening?
Yep, there you go.
That's
cool. Our good friend Austin Westlake, who's overseeing all that now. That's his influence.
Good job, Austin.
He would have a basketball tournament. We love Austin. And so if you're going to be at National Fine Arts, first of all, yes, we're going to have a booth. I'm going to be there. I
plan to be. I hope to be. Yeah.
You could even meet. This is actually probably the highlight. You can meet producer Matt Caforio at National Fine Arts.
Why would you not go?
We will have a meet and greet with producer Matt Caforio at our National Fine Arts booth.
I love it. Things are coming together.
You can meet him there. But not only will we have a booth, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but you'll see our MP worship team along with a handful of our other students who are serving throughout National Fine Arts. So there'll be room monitors, running scores, all those great things. So you'll see them around after their 9 weeks of camp. You're going to see them at camp, then you're going to see them at National Fine Arts, and they'll have a huge smile. It's great. So back to our booth though. So we'll have that come by, get a brand new t-shirt, never before been released Northpoint shirt. We'll have a brand new shirt.
We got some cool stuff.
And then
I'm excited for it.
We're going to have some set times throughout the week where you can come to the Northpoint booth and compete against one of our esports competitors, our esports students.
Okay.
And if you beat them, you can win an esports shirt. So
that's awesome.
be on the lookout. Come to our booth. We'll tell you all the details about that stuff. But it's just going to be a cool place for National Fine Arts.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good summer.
And then not only is our worship team going to be at the 9 camps, but we also have student representatives who will be out at other camps. So if you're in Southern Missouri, be on the lookout there. Another week of Kentucky camp, we'll have a student there. Okay. Another week of Pendle, we'll have a student there. New Jersey camp, we'll have a student there.
Awesome.
So like you'll see Northpoint around.
So they're covering a lot of ground this summer.
Just open your eyes and you'll see Northpoint. Just open your. That's all you don't even have to try.
That's
just
awesome.
Open your eyes.
That's awesome.
It's going to be Northpoint.
And if you're coming to, general council too, and if you're an alumni, stop by the booth.
Absolutely.
Share stories. We want to hear, of days gone by. And of course, if you're looking for a school to go to and you're interested, stop by.
Yeah. For the alumni especially, we're actually going to have an intentional area in our booth.
Yes.
To celebrate the 100 years of Zion and Northpoint.
Yeah.
Because we're turning 100 in 2024. So that's coming up. This is the general council to celebrate it.
That's right.
And so we're going to have a special area of the booth with pictures from the past all the way to the present. You may find yourself on a wall at general council. So
and then we're also, can't say what, but we're handing t-shirts out, of course, but we have something else we're handing out.
Oh, it's going to be good.
I'm so excited for. I think you're going to see this pop up around general council. You'll be like, where'd you get that? They're like, oh, the Northpoint booth. Yeah. So be on the lookout for something bright red, I guess. So probably.
That's a good little
something bright red.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
So yeah, that's a great summer. Something else we got going on as of the time of this production video, whatever.
Yeah. Right now at this moment.
Yeah, they are not in the U.S., but we have a team in Indonesia.
Wow.
Which is awesome. They have been praying, meeting together, raising funds, obviously, and they headed out there. May 17th is when they left, and they're there ministering in Bali, Indonesia.
Wow.
Super cool. We actually have one of our students.
Well, we met her.
International students.
We met her on this podcast. Livia.
That's right. Livia was on the podcast. Yep. Yeah. So Livia is leading our team to Bali. We're working with Pastor Don Butera and the church there, the New Tribe. And so they're going to be doing a number of different kinds of outreaches, going to a village and helping with a medical outreach one day. They're going to be helping with the church service and a couple other small groups. Going to be doing some prayer walks, some evangelism. And the team's fired up. They're ready to go. I had a Zoom with them last night. Well, last night as of the time of this recording. But so super pumped to see them come back and just to hear their stories. I think we'll have to share that on a future podcast. Cool. So we got students in Indonesia. We got camps being covered, and then obviously Ohio at the end of the summer. So a lot of good stuff happening over the summer.
Yeah. And I mean, we have students who are out doing internships over the summer.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about internships, because if you're a prospective student, you may be interested in what's this internship thing.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things we do is prior to the senior year. So once you've completed your junior year, you need to do a full-time summer internship. Now, up to that point, students do Christian service during the semesters, where they go out and serve alongside churches and ministries, and they're serving on campus. So they're very involved, freshman, sophomore, junior year. But after the junior year, we wanted to make sure, like, now that they've had a lot of their core classes, we want to send them out and actually get some practical, hands-on experience outside of the school. Mm-hmm. It's like the time where you let go before you actually let go. Like, go see how this goes. And so, we have students each summer going out, interning at various churches across the nation, and maybe even the world. We don't have any international interns this year, but perhaps next year. Yeah. So it's where they go out. They serve with a ministry, with a pastor, a kids pastor, youth pastor, evangelist, and they kind of just learn the ropes hands-on. And so they'll be serving 10 to 12 weeks. You're getting a lot of time in during the time, and so we've got a great group of interns this summer, as far out as Kansas to as far out, I guess, as Massachusetts. I think. I don't know if we want to go to Rhode Island, but so pumped for them as well.
Nice.
So then we get to finish it off. That they finish their internship with a course this fall. It's kind of like a senior seminar, theology of work type thing, where we recap what they've learned and get them ready.
And then
it's good.
We also have students who stay on campus over the summer as well.
Yeah.
So, again, maybe you're a prospective student trying to figure out logistics for the future. It's like, yeah, you're welcome to stay on campus and work a job on
student
campus.
Workers, right. Yeah. So lots to do. So that's not a problem.
People wonder, Pastor Josiah, Dean Scott, what do you do during the summer?
I mean,
so much.
Just the beach, right?
Yeah, we're always at the beach. I mean, we're working hard. No one's working harder than producer Matt Caforio, though.
Oh, he's busy.
He's busy.
He's really busy.
I would say maybe the president.
Yeah. He's probably working harder.
Yeah, he's probably working.
I don't know if harder. He's just doing
yes.
more,
But then producer Matt Caforio, one of the hardest working guys
he's doing a lot
out there.
Does it with a smile. Smiling right
every
now.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Well, we've recapped. We've gone.
Come to the meet and greet at National Fine Arts and General Counsel to meet producer Matt Caforio.
All right. Well, as we wrap up or close to wrap up here, what I don't know. The fall's coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot to get through before we get to the fall. So
man.
I don't know if we're even looking there yet. But is there anything?
You know what?
Mention?
I think it's time to drop the nuggets of when Northpoint Experience will be in the fall.
Glad we brought that full circle.
If we would have forgot that with the hype early on, we would have had to have producer Matt Caforio edit it in somehow.
I think your favorite phrase right now is producer Matt Caforio.
I'm trying to figure out how many times I could say it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right,
dates. Let's go.
Huge experience in the fall. We're so excited about this. I mean, first of all, if you were at the one in the spring,
it was great.
It was huge. It was great. Everyone had an awesome time. If you missed it, come to this one. So even if you came to the spring, come to the fall one. If you've never been, come to the fall one. If you haven't been in years, come to the fall one. So
not to elongate this too much or anything and drag this on. But
I was about to drop the dates, and now it's on.
Real quick though. All right, campus experience.
Yep.
Who comes to that again?
So it's
for if they don't know,
for high school students and young adults, so high school and up, who are interested or trying to figure out if Northpoint is the right next step for you.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to come out and have fun, we're cool.
Maybe
to have
you just
join us.
don't know where your next step is, where you're headed. There's a time where you can pray about that. And
exactly. Yeah, we're very intentional, very focused on. We want you to hear from God at Experience, and we want you to say yes to God, whatever He has for you.
That's good.
I mean, yes, I believe that God's calling ministers and missionaries and evangelists at Northpoint Experience. I also believe He's going to call doctors and teachers, and other professions like that too. So, we want you to hear from God, and we want you to say yes to God. That's good. If you're trying to figure out what to do for your life, this is a great place to come check it out. So,
all right, so
that's Northpoint Experience. Gonna get to come to chapel services, classes, hang out, have fun. So it's going to be September 7 through 9. So it's right after Labor Day, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right after Labor Day.
Okay.
We pushed it up in the year because VeggieTales had it right. Boston in the fall is so nice.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. So, and our campus is gorgeous.
It is.
And so we want to make sure that you're coming at the best time when the weather's nice, the campus looks great. It is going.
Might still have an ice cream shop open nearby.
True.
There's a lot of good ice cream around here.
So it is going to be a blast. Put that on your calendar right now, September 7th through 9. Totally free event, Northpoint Experience. If you're a youth pastor, bring your high school students. If you're a high school student or young adult and you're trying to figure out what the next step is, this is a great opportunity.
Okay. So we got Esports Camp right after July 4th, July 6, 7, 8.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then right after Labor Day, we've got Campus Experience, Northpoint Experience, September 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Okay, write those dates down.
There you go.
Great.
And Experience, we don't have the details up yet on a website, but just be on the lookout. You'll see them on our social media, which, by the way, if you don't already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. So Instagram, we have Northpoint Bible College. We have the Northpoint Guys. You can follow along with our NP Worship team.
Yeah.
And I believe that's just NP Worship, right, producer Matt Caforio?
NP.worship.
NP.worship. Man, I hope they got to hear his voice.
I'm glad he was here.
We should give him a producer microphone. So NP.worship, follow our team along there. And then YouTube, all that, check us out there as well.
So something we probably talked about a while ago, but I think it's not a bad time to bring it up. And, I already said the preacher line we're wrapping up, but this is the real wrap up, I think.
Right.
The real wrap up. We're landing the plane. Is, all right, say a student is watching who is interested, and they're not sure where they're going, but let's say they even just want to apply. Mm-hmm. How do they do that?
Well, so that actually brings up a good point. If you are trying to figure out what God has for you, and if you just graduated high school maybe, whether you just graduated or you graduated a while ago, and you're just trying to figure out, we want to challenge you. Take 1 year. Just take 1 year.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure if full-time ministry is the thing for you, take 1 year. We just introduced our 1 year certificate in biblical studies.
That's right.
So you could take 1 year at a discounted price and graduate at the end of the first year with a certificate. Now, if you're interested in full-time ministry, we want to challenge you. Don't just stop at the 1 year. It'll actually lead into, a bachelor's degree. It'll lead on. So you're not losing anything by spending this 1 year where you'll focus on Bible classes, spiritual formation classes. You'll be part of chapel services. You could stay on campus, or you could do this online as well. But it will never hurt you to take 1 year of Bible classes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are doing that when they don't know what to do. Maybe they go to a ministry school for a year, or just take a year internship or something like that. So this is an option, again, where maybe you don't want to commit 4 years of your life to that degree, but take a year. Take a year, be on, have chapels with us, hear from amazing professors, who they've given their life to this, to studying the Bible and ministry. So it's a great option, great place to be. And you can do that online or in person.
Yeah. And I am convinced if you take 1 year to dedicate yourself to, like, all right, God, what do you want for me? Yeah. And you take 1 year and you come be a part of the chapel services here. You spend time in the dorms praying with others. I am convinced if you take that 1 year, God's going to be faithful.
Absolutely.
And he's going to speak. I am convinced of that.
Yeah, and that comes back to where, if you are wanting to go into full-time ministry, you're not sure. By the end of that year, you may be sure, and then you can continue on. If not, you would have laid a great foundation if you do want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something like that. But you have that biblical foundation for life now. You have a biblical worldview where you can answer some of those tough questions.
Yeah. So even if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh man, like, I don't know if I could go to school in the fall. Is it too late? No. You can apply right now for either our 1 year program or even our bachelor's program. You can apply and be
an associate's program
or
too.
associates
1,
or
2
even
year,
the master's.
4 years,
yeah.
6 years.
If you're ready
what
for
do you
a
want?
master's,
5 years.
Yeah, you can sign up for the fall right now, and we would love to have you.
Yeah. So how do we do that again? We head to the website.
Yeah, so you could go northpoint.edu, and if you're ready to apply, just click the apply button. It is right there. You can fill out the application. If you're like, well, let me get a little bit more information, just click the button that says get more info or request more info. And then you fill out a quick little contact card, no commitment, and we'll talk to you. We'll send you some info. You know what? You may even get a phone call from producer Matt Caforio. Probably not, because he's very busy this summer. But we will have one of our recruiters get in touch with you as well.
Yeah, but
answer any questions.
I mean, if you're graduating, by the time you're listening to this, it's probably almost graduation time, And so, it does not hurt to apply. If you're not ready for that, it doesn't hurt to have a phone call, send a message, an email. Like, we want to talk, we want to share, talk about options.
And here's what I tell students, when I talk to youth groups or youth conventions or anything. For those who are called into ministry, you don't have to come to Northpoint.
Sure.
But you at least need to check it out.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't hurt to check it out. It doesn't hurt to have that phone call. It doesn't hurt to come to a Northpoint experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. And I believe in those moments, in those conversations where a recruiter is praying with you over the phone, that God may confirm something in your heart.
Well, we've landed the plane a couple times now. I guess we should really actually just end it.
The people in the plane don't like it when you land and take off again. And take it. No, the babies are crying in the back. Yeah.
All right. Well, Dean Scott, I guess we call you Michael Scott on here, huh?
On the podcast.
Well, anyway, whatever. He already told you how to check it out on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. So please do check out some other episodes. Again, if you haven't and you're interested, check out our website, apply, give us a call. We'd love to talk with you. And until next time, have a good one. See you later.